February 23rd, 9:34 a.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby Number 2. How did the investigation go yesterday, Mr. Wright? Frankly, there are still a lot of grey areas. Or rather, the whole thing is one big grey area. Don't worry about me, no matter what the outcome. I'm ready to accept my fate. Why? Why? I believe in you, sis. Why is she so ready to accept her fate? It must be something to do with Emma. I think she's protecting Emma. Mr. Wright, let me offer you a word of advice. Yes? A defense attorney should never believe their client. The defendant is called to trial because they are suspected of wrongdoing. Never forget that. Miss Sky, you remind me a lot of Mia. But there is one decisive difference between you and her. And that is... you're not a defense attorney. I believe it's almost time for the trial. Good luck, Mr. Wright. My first trial without a Fae helping me. Ugh. No one's gonna bail me out this time. I feel like Emma will. There's Mia. I'll be alone in there. You won't. You'll have Emma with you. So I have to discover the truth, all by myself. Let's go. Let's do it, Mr. Wright. I'll be with you the whole way. Like, literally just immediately contradicting him. I have an itchy eye. February 23rd, 10 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 9. I feel like coming here off the back of cooking was not good because my glasses steamed up. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Sky. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has been ready for a while, Your Honor. Edgeworth. Gotta one-up people. It's been 2 months, but I haven't been in a courtroom since his trial. I hope that personal feelings will not be a part of the proceedings today, Mr. Wright. I will choose the path I think is right, regardless of what those around me might say. The judgment to be made here is in our hands, not those of anyone else. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth, your opening statement, please. Chief Prosecutor Lana Sky has committed an unpardonable crime. Not only this, but she was rash enough to commit it in the prosecutor's office lot. Wow, he's much more forceful in person. I suddenly feel like confessing to everything. However, she will now pay for her rashness with her life. There was a witness to her crime. A professional witness. Well then, call your first witness, Mr. Edgeworth. The prosecution calls its first witness, Miss Angel Starr, to the stand. The cough-up queen. Let's go. I love that her necklace is one of those little cocktail sausages that have been sliced to make them look like octopuses, which is very, very Japanese. Haven't I seen you somewhere? Your order, the caviar lunch, right? Ho ho, caviar! I've never eaten caviar before. The judge is really wolfing it down. And for you, I have a fiesta bowl. Thanks. Will the witness state her name and profession? Ah, and you, sir. Did you order the fingerprint lunchbox? It is too early for lunch. Your name and profession, please. Hair flip. Are we ready? No? Okay. Well, Your Honor, how does it taste? So this is why everyone raves about caviar. So tasty it hurts. I always thought caviar would taste like pickled tapioca. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Try saying that 10 times fast. What the heck does pickled tapioca taste like? Pickled tapioca. I love that the music stops with the slamming of his hand. Name. Profession. Now. Me? The name is Angel Star. Don't go forgetting it. I find myself running Lunchland these days. Is that what you wanted me to say, Mr. Edgeworth? Very well, witness. Please describe the incident to us. The prosecution will wait. I'm not finished eating. Hurry it up. Very well, Mr. Edgeworth. As you know, we usually call on the police to provide a description of the crime. Your Honour, as Mr. Edgeworth has said to the court, I am a professional. What exactly does that mean? Until 2 years ago, Miss Angel Star was a special investigator with the police. She was a first-rate homicide detective. What? Miss Star was a detective? Ah-ha! I know who you are. Cough up. Cough up Queen Angel Star, Your Honour. Long time no see. Very well. You may continue with your the description, Mrs. Star. Okay. He's just said we normally get the police to do this. You can't just get an ex-police officer to do it. It still has to be a professional, like, police officer. If that's the rule, you can't pick someone who once was a police officer. I'm pretty sure. Just who is this lady? If I might have the court's attention over here. Let's go. The parking lot at the prosecutor's office is divided into 2 blocks. A block is for the prosecutor's office personnel. B block is for visitors and clients. A chain divider separates the 2 blocks. I suppose that's to keep visitors from taking up prosecutors' spaces, yes? The crime took place by a car in the back of Block A in the car's trunk. The killer stabbed the victim with this knife and went to drive the body out. Unfortunately for her, there was a witness and an arrest was made on the spot. And who was this valiant witness? Why, it was me, Your Honour. Parking lot floor plans added to the court record. Witness, did you see the very moment of the crime? Of course, Your Honour. Immediately after that, I apprehended the chief prosecutor. It seems rather cut and dry, doesn't it? Well, Mr. Wright. I can't agree on principle, Your Honour. It seems that some poor losers are unwilling to accept the truth, Your Honour. Shall I proceed to crush what little hope they have remaining? If you can, then give them your worst, Miss Star. Wait, are they talking about me? Witness testimony. Witness's account. Somehow I always knew a day like this would come. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend when I sensed something. Perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her hand. Then she thrust the pointed tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. Bringing a lunchbox to your boyfriend? How touching. As you can see, there is no room for doubt. The key point of your testimony seems to be nothing other than the point of the knife, which you saw being stabbed into Detective Goodman. So, how does it feel to be so utterly crushed? I'm still thinking about that. It's merely a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. Very well, Mr. Wright. You may cross-examine the witness. Cross-examination. Witness's account. Somehow, I always knew a day like this would come. I don't... do you know what? We're going to press everything because her saying things like that makes it, like, super suspicious. How did you know? I respect the prosecutor's basic abhorrence of crime. Yet, their methods are open and twisted. Twisted methods will always lead to tragedy. The lunch lady's uninformed opinion is duly noted, given that they are used to raising inconvenient evidence at their whim. Killing off a detective that knew too much is merely an extension of that. Ooh, Miss Starr, do you have something personal against prosecutors? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator, and if I hadn't been laid off by those prosecutors over there, I'd still be one. Laid off. She was fired. To me, prosecutors are nothing more than worms. That said, I am a pro. As you know, my testimony is unbiased and flawless. Very well. You may continue, Miss Starr. I was on my way to deliver a lunchbox to my boyfriend. This boyfriend, he's the detective? Not that boyfriend, the security guard. That boyfriend? You have several? Yes, this boyfriend, that boyfriend, and the other boyfriend. Care to join? The yet another boyfriend position is still open for applicants. I'll stick with the lunches, thanks. Note to self, the judge had to think before replying. The security guard room is in the lot, in Block A. It is up on the second level, so you can see everything from there. That would be the room with the security sign. Incidentally, did you bring your lunchboxes by car? Since I'm a visitor now, I parked in B block. So, she was in B block when she witnessed the crime. When I sensed something, perhaps it was my finely honed detective's intuition at work. You sensed something, so you're saying you had a premonition of the murder? It felt like... how would you say? Oh yes. It was like the feeling you get when you view a pumpkin chock full of seeds. I have no idea what that means. Speaking of a detective's intuition, wasn't the victim, Mr. Bruce Goodman, also a detective? Yes, well, he was like a young cheese. Young cheese? A pale white cheese, not yet tangy with experience on the streets. A greenhorn. Then it must be... oh, sugar. Then I must be a hard yellowed and sharp as a tack. Yeah, with the odour of an old cheese to match. In any case, there in the lot, I felt something staring in the back of my mind. Through the wire fence, I saw the chief prosecutor standing next to a garish car. By garish car, you mean Mr. Edgeworth's car, yes. Mr. Edgeworth? Incidentally, the knife with which the victim was stabbed was also Mr. Edgeworth's. Wasn't it? Indeed it was. Is he allowed to be working this case? What an odd case this is. And the person you saw, you're sure it was the defendant? I saw her from no further than 30 feet away. I am certain it was her. If she's telling the truth, we're doomed. Nah, we're not. We're good. I'm pretty sure she's even got photographic evidence if I'm remembering this right, but we're good. Let's just do what we can. Even if we don't have any proof, we can always nitpick. Witness, in your testimony, you clearly stated the following. Prosecutors are nothing more than worms. Ergo, you are a biased witness. You might want to keep those silly opinions to yourself in the future, rookie. Huh? Rookie? Unless you're willing to risk the consequences of doubting me. I'll fry you like a fritter, crispy on the outside, chewy on the inside. That was inspiring. I believe I've heard that tagline elsewhere. You could cry plagiarism? I may be relegated to the lowly post of lunch lady, but my instincts are honed. A photograph. You took this? The moment I witnessed the crime, my reflexes took over and snap, I took a picture. In fact, one of my lunchboxes is rigged with a camera. I suppose that's more exciting than just hanging it around your neck. Witness, why am I only hearing... am I only seeing this photograph just now? You think I'd show it to you, a prosecutor? Think again. My boyfriend works in the photography division of criminal affairs. Well, this is most certainly the defendant. Crime photo added to the court record. Uh-oh, that is unmistakably Lana Skye. So, what was the defendant doing at the time? The chief prosecutor was holding a knife in her right hand. Tell me more about the knife that the suspect was carrying. Well, I'd say the blade was about 4 inches long. Is that right, Mr. Edgeworth? It is your knife, after all. Yes, that's about right. Prosecutors are, by nature, well versed in the location of a man's vital organs. I'm sure it was easier than boiling an egg for my egg salad surprise set. You can't testify as to her ability to kill an egg. I mean, a person. Perhaps a chicken salad set would have been a better metaphor. So the defendant was holding a knife. What then? Then she thrust the pointy tip of the knife into Detective Goodman's chest. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Anything else? Scientifically speaking, Miss Starr's testimony is flawless. Sounds pretty fatal to me. What do we do? Is this it? Is my sister guilty? Let's just keep our heads cool and press the witness a bit, shall we? For some reason, having her panicking next to me makes me calmer. Don't smile like that. Okay. No, that's not what I want. I want to check this picture. Because in the picture, she's not holding a knife in her hand. Do I present this? Let's do the safe thing. And save. Yeah. Okay. And then we will present the picture you just gave me. And you witnessed this? You saw Miss Skye stab the victim with the knife. As I've already said, yes. I swear it on my finest salmon swale lunchbox. I'm sure that is a fine lunchbox. But isn't that odd? Look at this photograph. This is the photograph you took of the very moment of the crime, is it not? Then why is Miss Skye not holding a knife? Mr. Edgeworth, your thoughts? Objection. That had to be the weakest objection I've ever... the weakest objection ever, Edgeworth. Yet it was still stronger than your ever-feeble mind, Mr. Wright. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? This photograph was not taken the moment before the stabbing. This was taken the moment after the stabbing. And how can you tell that? There's blood on her coat. Blood splatter. Huh? See the dark crimson stains on the chief prosecutor's coat? But it's a black and white photograph. Ah, yes, it's hard to tell, but this could be blood. Well, Mr. Wright, I see no problem here. No problem, except you. Mr. Wright, are you going to just sit there and take that kind of abuse? You got a better idea? Just gonna save. I am going to object. But first, I'm going to check the court record because I'm pretty sure that he had several. Oh, only one knife wound. Date and time of death, February 21st, between 4 p.m. and 5:30 p.m. Cause of death, loss of blood from chest wound. Assessment wound was caused by a 4.5-inch knife. A single stab wound was found. Okay. Okay. A single chest wound. A single chest wound is going to do that much blood spray? I don't know, that looks like... It looks like the body's been laid over that coat. I'm gonna object. Wait. That contradicts what the witness said in her testimony. Namely, that she took the picture the moment she witnessed the crime. Well, it seems I was slightly unclear. My apologies. That's it? If you run out of lunch, you order seconds. Problem solved. If you don't like it, try ordering the jumbo-sized lunch from the get-go. Good advice. I'm not sure I understood it, but good advice. I didn't have time to stop her. Prosecutor Skye was cold, calculating like a robot. She killed without pain or remorse. It was a premeditated murder. Premeditated? How do you know? Look at the chief prosecutor's hands in that photograph. Well, aren't those gloves? Surgical gloves made of thin rubber, most likely. Why would she have those on? If it was not premeditated, she would not be wearing those gloves. Ah! These gloves do seem to tell a tale of premeditation. Premeditated murder, a serious offense. Witness, add this to your testimony. The murder's plan, the rubber gloves prove it. What if she was just in the habit of wearing gloves? Like driving gloves? The gloves were admitted as evidence when the defendant was arrested. They were rubber gloves, of the kind used for autopsies. In other words, when the chief prosecutor came to the crime scene, she came to do murder. It's the only possible conclusion one can make. Everything was planned. It was a premeditated crime. Ah! Impressive. I'm sorry they took you off the force, Miss Starr. This is bad. She's got them thinking this was all planned. If she can prove this claim, the trial's already over. I've got to think of a way to show that this wasn't premeditated. It's only a flesh wound, Mr. Wright. We can make it. You said that before. Oh, skip. Okay. So let's just have a quick look at what we've got in here. Because also, if it was premeditated, she wouldn't have a bloodied coat. It's the only stuff that she's wearing that's protective. So I'm thinking when she goes to premeditated, I'm gonna just save because I don't trust it. Bum 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 bum. Not correct. The witness's statement is clearly faulty, Your Honor. I'm sorry, but I can see nothing faulty. Unfortunately, I will have to penalize you, Mr. Wright. Okay. I must be on the wrong track. Okay, so... present... It wasn't premeditated, otherwise she would have brought a weapon. There you go. Witness, do you know what this is? Are you trying to test me? I sell lunchbox. I sell boxed... blah, 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 blah. I sell boxed lunches. It should say, but it says I sell boxed lunches for a living, you know. That's a knife. The knife. The knife that was in Mr. Edgeworth's trunk. Indeed, it is my knife. What's with this case? The bloody murder weapon, a red car, all belonging to the prosecutor there? The defendant is the chief prosecutor of the district, right? Mummy, are the prosecutors bad people? The defense has a request. We ask that witness provide an accurate testimony. What's that, rookie? In your testimony, you stated that Lana Skye planned this murder, and that's why she was wearing those special gloves. Seems like a natural conclusion to me. The gloves do indicate planning. However, why would she not also prepare the most important thing? The murder weapon. Oh. This knife just happened to be in the trunk of that car. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to plan a murder, you don't forget the weapon. Oh! I don't know. Order, order, order. Great. Now the tide is turning in our favor. Great show, Mr. Wright. My sister's as good as free. Oh. Right. I believe the next lunch you'll be eating is humble pie. What? I hope you weren't deluding yourself into thinking that the tide had turned. Not over such a trifling detail, but this shoots a hole in the whole premeditated theory. Bah. The prosecution could care less if it was premeditated or not. I'm sorry, guys. It's couldn't care less. Not could care less, couldn't care less. If you could care less, there is an amount of caring you are doing. So the prosecution couldn't care less if it was premeditated or not. It annoys me that this phrase couldn't care less became could care less because it's wrong. The only one who seems to care is that lunch lady over there. The defendant, Lana Skye, murdered a detective with a knife. That is the only thing the prosecution need prove. Nothing else. Very good, Mr. Prosecutor. I suppose you think you're clever now. But you know as well as I do that she planned on killing him. It was planned. If it wasn't, why would she have been wearing... I believe I'd like to hear your testimony again. Witness, please tell us only what you saw, not what you thought. How dare you? My powers of deduction are not to be underestimated. Really now. Witness testimony, Angel's deduction. Lana Skye intended to murder Detective Goodman. That's why she called the victim all the way to the prosecutor's office. I'm sure the chief prosecutor had a grudge against the victim. Nothing else could drive that human machine to plunge the knife in again and again. Well, we're just going to present the... The defendant called the witness. It does sound a lot like premeditation, doesn't it? So, if I ordered a pizza, does that mean I'm planning to kill the delivery boy? In any case, the defense may now cross-examine the witness. Emma, you're a fool. Cross-examination, Angel's deduction. We're just going to skip to the end of her thing, where she says again and again. Because she clearly didn't see shit, because he died of one wound. One knife wound. You say she stabbed him again and again, but you couldn't have witnessed that. Are you testing me? Then I test you. With my moss surprise. I'm afraid the moss is growing under our feet as we wait, Miss Starr. What do you mean? I shouldn't have to explain this, but take a look. The autopsy report states that the death was due to a loss of blood from one stab wound. Ah, ha. You're right. Good show, Mr. Edgeworth. What a hunk. We said this. He's my hero, really. What about my objection? No one noticed? Well, witness? You got the crime scene set, right? Oh, thanks. I always believed that no one could ever mistake ketchup for blood. But now I realize that such mistakes are possible. So, you're saying you mistook something? For blood? When she lifted her knife, I thought I saw blood at her breast. Splattered blood from her victim. That's why I thought she must have stabbed him at least twice. Then tell us what you saw that you thought... Then tell us what you saw that you thought was blood. Testify. Her red muffler looked like blood to me. That's how ghastly the whole scene was. Okay, let's just look at this friggin' photograph. Is she wearing a muffler at all? No, she's not. So let's just present that. Mister, I demand an explanation. The witness is clearly not suited for detective work. What? The suspect was not wearing a scarf or muffler of any kind when she stabbed the victim. And you've proved it yourself with this photograph. Huh? But that can't be. Only a professional lunch lady could be so utterly clueless. Congratulations, perhaps you finally found your true calling in life. Harsh words, but good. In the end, Mr. Edgeworth prevails. What was my objection? Chopped liver? But it was there, a scarf. No, not that, but something red, really. Well now, where were we? The witness has given us an entertaining interlude, but back to business. What? Very well, witness, continue your testimony. You saw the crime and apprehended the suspect. Tell us about that. She's so pissed off. Very well. I do remember some things accurately, at least. Ultimately, we couldn't shake the most important part of her testimony. The most important part? Are you reading my mind? The part where your sister stabs the victim. This next testimony might be the moment of truth. Are we whispering when it's in brackets, or are we thinking? Because she seems to read our minds. Witness testimony. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a petition off to his side. I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. The chief prosecutor made to escape, but against Angel's star, resistance was futile. How the fuck did you get to her? You're quite determined about this scarf, aren't you? I strike like a snake and bite like a cobra. The cobra is a snake. That's me, Angel Star. That wasn't very good metaphor. First of all, a cobra is a kind of snake. Thank you! Don't bother me with details unless you want to get bitten. No thanks. Note to self, Mr. Wright is weak against poisonous snake bites. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hand aside and kicked over an oil drum. Those oil drums were very heavy. How did she just kick it over? An oil drum? Hard to imagine. Oh, she's beautiful, but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you will. Cross-examination. Apprehending the suspect. After the murder, the suspect attempted to run behind a partition off to her side. So, where is this partition on the floor plan? I'm sure she means this wall next to the car. That's right. There was a wall there, about 6 feet high. She was obviously trying to hide herself. Quite a natural thing for a criminal to do. And what did you do then? I quickly caught her, explained her rights to her, and arrested her on the spot. You say quickly. Were you close to the suspect? As I just said, I was only 30 feet from her the whole time. Maybe I should press. Yeah, press. Because there's a chain link fence there. I'd like to see this on the floor plans, just to be safe. Lunchland car was... She was a visitor, thus she was parked in B block. So you witnessed the murder from here? That would make it about 30 from the car. Yes. Is that correct, Miss Starr? Yes, that's right. But there was a chain link fence in front of you. I went over it, of course. Amazing. The Coffin Queen lunch lady athlete, indeed. It would have taken her a little time to climb over the fence. She couldn't have gotten to my sister that fast. Yeah, the fence was about 9 feet high, too. So how did this guy not get away? Ah, yes. When I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. She mentioned the muffler. What exactly did she say? If I remembered exactly, I would have told you in my testimony. Cheeky. Anyway, all I heard her say was the word muffler. Just that one word? So, what you heard wasn't the suspect talking to you, but to someone else? Yes. The chief prosecutor was talking on her phone. Her phone? She can't mean ask further. By phone, do you mean this cell phone discovered at the crime scene? Yes, ultimately. Ultimately? My memory. It's like a salmon heading upstream, you see. No, the court doesn't seem to start. The chief prosecutor first attempted to use the phone hanging on the wall. On the wall? That's right. Near the car. There was an emergency phone on the wall. Apparently, it was out of order. And so she used her cell phone? Indeed, the emergency phone was out of order that day. Good witnessing, witness. Good witnessing? Whatever happened to good testifying? You should, of course, add this to your testimony. The things I do to please this rookie defense attorney. Lana's cell phone updated in the court record. I saw it all. How she tried the phone on the wall, but had to use her soul instead. Press. Do you think you could restate your testimony for the court? Aha! I was going to ask the same thing. I'll only say this one time, so listen close, rookies. The chief prosecutor stabbed the victim and ran behind the partition. She then picked up the emergency phone on the wall, but it was out of order. So she pulled her own cell phone out of her pocket. And during that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then, when I boldly grabbed her arm, the chief prosecutor hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. What is it, Mr. Wright? Let's have a look. $8:18. Car got there at 8:12. I'm just trying to figure out why are we so smug? There's only one oil drum there, but there were two when we got there. So unless the other one's hidden behind the car or something. Check this. Okay. Man, what a boring strap. What's wrong with it? Everyone has different tastes, you know. Here, check out mine. It's a pink princess strap. Those are hard to come by, you know. I see the series is as popular as ever with the kids. I'm just trying to figure out what about the phone. Apart from the fact that she called her sister with it. There's no need to push this again. What's wrong? You look like I do during finals. Never mind. It's nothing. Okay. Hang on. In the picture, is she on the phone? No. Hang on. The other one. She's the phone in her hand. No. Why is he so smug? What has he figured out that I haven't figured out? The chief prosecutor made an escape, but against Angel Star resistance to tweet out. I'm just going to press that anyway. She made to escape. Can you be more specific? She brushed aside my hand and ran. It was a terrible sight to see, like a dollop of lard on a pâté of foie gras. Huh? She even kicked over an oil drum at me. An oil drum. There was an oil drum lying on its side at the scene of the crime. But it's strange. Hmm? What's that? If she wanted to escape, why didn't she run the other way? The other way? Ah. The parking lot entrance. That's right. It doesn't make any sense that she would run from behind the partition to the oil drums. Excellent. More mysteries. I wish we could solve a few before finding more, though. So Miss Sky tried to run. I'm sorry, my sister is so suspicious, Mr. Wright. Not as sorry as I am. But she didn't do it. You have to believe me. Okay. After the murder, the suspect had... Quick report her. We need to press this one. This is the one that we need to... Do I press it again and see what comes from that? Do you think you could restate your testimony? Okay, yeah, okay. Skip. Yes. So she went to the telephone, she pulled out her cell phone, she came running over. During that time, you climbed over the chain link fence. Then, boldly grabbed her arm, and that's when she hung up her phone. And you saw her doing this. Okay. I do not see what Phoenix is seeing right now, so I need to present some shit. Let's have a look. I'm gonna try presenting the phone because it's about the phone. It's not the phone. Okay. Okay. Present. Parking lot floor plan. Miss Starr, I have to conclude that you have a personal grudge against Miss Lana Sky, because the reason I'm thinking the floor plans, by the way, for my logical reason, is she is running around the opposite way to where she should be. The witness is a former detective. Her testimony is unmarred by personal bias. Well, who would have thought you would be my knight in shining armor, prosecutor? You, who together with the chief prosecutor, kicked me out 2 years ago. There we go. Well, Miss Starr, this is a fatal contradiction with your testimony. How do you explain this? I don't know what you're talking about. Mess with me, and I'll make you cough it all up. Ahem. Let's look at the floor plans. You said you witnessed the crime from this point. However, if that's true, you couldn't possibly have seen Miss Sky making that phone call. I believe you see what I'm getting at. That emergency phone was on the back side of this partition. If indeed you were in B block, you couldn't have seen it. What? Order. What is the meaning of this? It's simple, Your Honor. She's not coughing up lunch. She's coughing up lies. Grr. That's quite a claim, Mr. Wright. Perhaps you will allow me a question. Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told the court. Here's where the counterattack begins. I can't afford to get this wrong. The witness lied about... I guess the order of events. Because she'd see her. I guess where she saw it, because she'd have had to have been closer. But then she does have a picture from the other side of the fence, so she definitely was on the other side of the fence. I guess the order of events. Because if she was... Alexa, stop. If she was calling to say that the murder had happened, I feel like she saw her make the phone call because she was coming to the car. I don't know. I don't know if it's the order of events. The obvious answer is what she saw. So I'm gonna go with the obvious answer. But I'm trying to figure out where that leads us. I feel like it's because she lied about what she saw. In other words, she didn't see Mrs. Sky using that emergency phone. It does seem hard to imagine how she could have. Very logical. What's the matter, Star? Cat got your lunchbox? Mr. Wright, I hate to bother you while you're celebrating your victory, but why would Miss Star lie like that? Huh? Why would she say that my sister had tried to use the phone but failed? It doesn't make any sense. Why lie about something so insignificant? Oh, dang, she's right. Yeah, I thought that was not, like, a great thing to argue. I mean, maybe she really did see her try to use the emergency phone. I see no room for doubt here. You ordered the patooey on rice, right? I think it's the order of events, because she used her mobile and then tried to use the emergency phone, perhaps? One more try. I see it in your eyes. You haven't learned your lesson, have you? Tell us exactly what lie this witness has told in the court. Okay, I guess it's the order of events. Oh, or is it where she saw it? I don't fucking know, because the phone is broken. So she may have used it and learned that it was broken. Let's go with the order of events. She lied about the order of events. Miss Sky used the emergency phone before the murder. I see. I hadn't thought of that. No, exactly. There's no fucking point. But she is on the other side of the chain link fence. You ordered the orange peel lunchbox, right? I guess that teaches me to get excited before the evidence. We're gonna do it again. One more time. See, I was thinking where. It was one of my first things that I was thinking. But because there's a picture of her behind the chain link fence, I'm a bit like, what the fuck? Miss Sky tried to use the emergency phone, but it was out of order. What is significance about this fact? Nothing. Therefore, it would be pointless for Miss Star to lie about it. Yeah, exactly. Pointless to lie, I see. But say the witness did actually see Miss Sky using the emergency phone. It would mean Miss Star witnessed the crime from a different location. A different location? Now that's a pointless lie if ever I heard one. Before you call my lie pointless, at least let me tell it. Let me ask a question to our clever wordsmith, Mr. Wright. Just where was the witness when she saw the crime? Okay. I think she was in the security office, if I'm going to be honest, because she's come to visit her boyfriend, right? But why would there be a picture on the other side of the chain link fence? All the testimony we've heard up to now points in one direction. The place from where Miss Star witnessed this crime was here. Yeah, I'm going to point to the security room. I might be wrong. This is the only place where she could have been. The security guard room? Indeed, the security room in the underground parking lot is well positioned. It's built on the second floor so you can see the entire lot. She would have been able to see the emergency phone from there. But why there? There are many other places where she could have seen the phone. Not in this case, Your Honor. The witness, not being part of the prosecutor's office, couldn't park in A block. The only place where she could have seen the crime and the back of the partition is here. I remember in your testimony you said you brought a lunch to your boyfriend in the security guard room, yes? Well, Miss Star? How many years have I been getting the better of men? To think that the tables could be turned. Today, a man has got the better of Angel's star. But why is there a photo of through the chain link fence? Order, order, witness. What have you done? You used to be a detective. You should know better. I'm not turning back. The guilty will be punished. And I'll do what I must to make sure justice prevails. How are you better than the prosecutors then, if your argument is that they are fabricating evidence, you silly bitch? The guilty, is she talking about Miss Sky? Mr. Wright, doesn't this strike you as odd? Why did Miss Star lie? It doesn't make sense, huh? She could have just said she saw the crime from the security guard station. It wouldn't change anything. It would, exactly. This photograph tells all. It was the defendant who stabbed the victim. That truth still stands. It still stands? I disagree, Mr. Edgeworth. What? If a witness is found to be lying, they're guilty of perjury. She knows this. She wouldn't risk that without a good reason. It's because whoever took this picture is probably not a reliable witness or something. So tell us what her reason was, Mr. Wright. To include this photograph. Huh? Me? Who else? Mr. Wright, let's review what we know. Miss Starr witnessed the crime from the security guard station. But she lied and said she saw it from B block. It must make a vital difference, but what? What would change? The angle of the crime, the distance from the crime, difference in lighting. The distance to the crime. She wasn't just 30 feet away. It changes the distance between her and the scene of the crime. My condolences, Mr. Wright. But one look at the floor plans and it's quite clear. No, it's a floor above. The distance between the scene of the crime and the guard station is 30 feet. I don't see how that would change what she could see. What she saw is not in question here. What matters is the time it would take her to reach the scene of the crime. Miss Starr, you witnessed the crime from the security guard station. Now, how long did it take you to go from there to the scene of the crime where you arrested Miss Sky? Well, witness, yes? You ordered the squid wheels, right? The quality of my lunches has gone from low to inedible. I was bringing a PB&J lunch with fresh boysenberry jam to my boyfriend. Boysenberry for the boyfriend. He wasn't in the station, so I waited. I witnessed the crime from the glass-walled station. And before I knew what I was doing, I found myself running towards the scene. But the door was locked. I couldn't open it. Ah. That's why I had to go through the visitors parking in B block. That's quite a detour. It probably took me at least 5 minutes to get to the scene of the crime. For 5 minutes? This changes things considerably. But it was that woman over there in the defendant's chair who stabbed him. I know it. I have photographic evidence. I swear it. I swear it on my finest plastic spork. You have a point, and the spork is a wonderful invention. Would you like another caviar lunch? Absolutely. Uh-oh. Mr. Wright, you have to do something. Do I have any evidence to stop this? Oh, I feel like we do. I'm a bit on the back foot is the issue. If we don't raise an objection, we're going to fail. She's going to get declared guilty, so I'm going to raise objection. Objection! 5 minutes between the witnessing of the murder and the arrest. Think about it. You could make pasta in that amount of time. If you like it al dente. I've got lunch boxes that tie pasta into knots, rookie. 5 minute blank? Isn't that strange? Strange. If you were a criminal, what would you do with 5 minutes, Your Honor? Well, guess I'd flee the scene. Hey! Don't get the wrong idea. I didn't kill anyone. But you have the instincts of a killer. You would run. But this time was different. This guy dawdled at the scene of the crime. She even had her picture taken. No true criminal would act this way. It's inconceivable. Yeah. Well then. It seems we've come to the end of this testimony. The witness has a grudge against the defendant and a blank in her testimony. She also has a grudge against the prosecution, which she's supposed to be working with. Mr. Edgeworth is the next witness ready to go. Unfortunately? Why? Oh, okay. I appear to have overestimated this witness on account of her professional history. Oh, go on. Like, drag her backwards through bushes. Fucking pull her name through the mud. Go for it, Edgeworth. This bitch dead. Dead! To have the audacity to come in here, call herself a professional, and then lie left, right, and centre. You're right to be pissed off with her. We did it! We screwed that can shut, Mr. Wright. Nah, Edward's about to say something. That was too close. I'm afraid that the Coffin Queen has been dethroned. And with that, court is adjourned. Oh, she's not going to be happy with that. Hold it! Who is shouting that? The Coffin Queen, I assume? Yep. Mr. Edgeworth, you ordered the squid wheels, right? Oh dear, here we go. That's the one she tried to foist off on me. I prefer not to take the defense team's leftovers. Is there anything else to say? I might be able to save you. I have decisive evidence. Oh shit. What was that? Is this another one of her trick lunchboxes? My apologies, but we have no further questions to ask of you, Mrs. Starr. Ah? Is this your jumbo lunchbox? Ooh, a triple-decker. Out of deference to the witness's determination, I'll allow one more testimony. Let's hear about this decisive evidence. Like the Lunchland motto says, you won't be disappointed. What's she gonna pull out of her lunchbox this time? Let's see. Let's go. Witness testimony. Decisive evidence. I have a yogurt here, by the way, which is why I'm, like, finangling. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't looking at the crime scene. And now, to the matter of the victim's shoe. Oh, did I not bring this up? 2 types of blood were found on this shoe. Why the fuck, right, has this woman taken this man's shoe from the crime scene and then gone and got it tested? She is not an active police officer. She's a lunch lady. One was, of course, the victim's, and the other blood type matched that of the defendant, Lana Skye. Doesn't matter. This shoe proves it. It's flawless. Decisive evidence. Huh. Interesting. What? Was blood found on that shoe? Try Lunchland for all your lunch and decisive evidence needs. Witness, what is the meaning of this? Why is this the first time I've heard of this evidence? Simple, as I've already said. I don't trust you with evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. That's why I took the liberty of investigating this myself. And you had blood tests performed. Didn't I mention? I have 3 boyfriends in forensics. In any case, Your Honor, I can't accept this as evidence. What? You must know the 2 rules of evidence law. Rule number 1, no evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. In other words, this shoe is illegal evidence, at least for the time being. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth sure is celebrating. Not so fast, Mr. Edgeworth. Don't forget, I used to be a detective. As I mentioned previously, this shoe has already been tested by a member of the forensics department. As you can see, it was approved by the police department as of today. Even the general public produced official evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Is that right, Mr. Wright? It seems so. Edgeworth is looking pretty sullen. You could at least study some evidence law, really. The prosecution's complaints notwithstanding, it appears that this evidence satisfies the first rule of evidence law. However, it seems you have yet another count against your witness. Anything to ensure that the guilty are properly judged. Victim shoe added to the court record. Very well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness. I should have mentioned those 5 minutes when I wasn't at the crime scene, and now to the matter of the victim's shoe. And I'll bring this up. 2 types of blood were found. One was, of course, the victim's. The other blood type matched the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. Right, okay. So, let's have a look. But there's also blood on the bottom of the shoe. Ah, there's blood here too. On the sole of the shoe. It's got to be the victim's. He must have stepped in a puddle of his own blood. All this blood, it's horrible. This blood might be an important clue. It is, because he died instantly, right? This blood, it's my sister's, right? It appears so. Lana's right hand was bandaged when I saw her in jail. She must have cut herself at the time of the crime. Poor sis. Okay. So we're just going to present the shoe, because he shouldn't be able to walk in it. Alright, no, go back. Okay, so I could present this and say he... No, that just says blood loss. It doesn't say died immediately. Okay, that's fine. So we can show the shoe, at least. I also only have the one dot left, so... present the shoe. Nope, does not work. No. We're gonna load, because otherwise it's just gonna show me the guilty screen anyway. 2 types of blood. One, of course, was the victim's. Let's present the shoe at that. Nope, doesn't like it. Okay, that's fine. So load and go back to this. Yes. Right, we're gonna press her on that one anyway and see if we can get her to say anything more. You can't say for sure the blood belonged to the defendant with a blood test. You claim to know something about the blood test, rookie? Huh? Well, speak up. Well. Blood comes in 4 types. A, B, O, and AB. However, you can't tell from a blood test whether a murder was committed in cold blood. That's just a figure of speech, Mr. Wright. Actually, we can differentiate between millions of types with all the blood tests out there, which means that we can more or less narrow any sample of blood down to just one person. Or so I hear. That's pretty specific. If I had a little more time, I would have gotten DNA test results. But they said there's very little doubt it could be anyone's but Miss Lana Skye's. So the suspect's blood was found on the victim's shoe. That ties her directly to the death of Detective Goodman. No, it doesn't. I was afraid he was going to say that. Okay. Oh. That's just because I got to the end of the thing. I need to press that final one anyway. So let's press this. So you brought it to the forensics department. If you're going to submit something as evidence in court, you need it approved. To do that, evidence must be analysed by a forensics expert. And she got away with her little coup because she used to be a detective. The shoe does appear to have bloodstains on it. Well, the man was stabbed after all. And that blood belonged to the victim, Detective Goodman. As I said, there were 2 types of blood found on the shoe. And the other blood type matched that of defendant Lance Sky. This proves that it's flawless decisive evidence. Is it flawless decisive evidence? I don't believe it is. But the meta weapon only has the victim's blood on, right? Flawless decisive evidence. I can't let this evidence go through without a fight. You ordered the peppered fish guts, right? Ew. Some like it hot, Mr. Wright. Some, like your client, she's in enough hot water to make a whole vat of soup. Mr. Wright, do you or don't you have a problem with this shoe? A problem? This is critical. Is there a problem with the victim's shoe? Yes. Is that all I needed to do was just keep pressing? If I'm not imagining things, I'd say there is one critical problem with this evidence. A clear contradiction. That gleam in your eyes. You're still young, rookie. I'd give you a peppered fish gut now. But you couldn't take the heat, could you? Fish guts sound grim. Fish sounds grim, to be fair. Let's hear what Mr. Wright has to say. What is contradictory about the victim's shoe? Show us the problem with this evidence. Okay, cool. So I can just rotate or potato it. And... a blam.
Take that!
I wonder if you noticed. There's blood on the bottom of this shoe. Don't mess with me, rookie. Or it'll be your blood on the bottom of my shoe. Indeed, there is quite a bit of blood on the bottom of the shoe. It makes sense. The victim was stabbed with a knife. What could possibly be contradictory about the blood at the bottom of the shoe? Loss of blood from a chest wound, I could say. No. I'm guessing your shoe has blood on it too. You just shot yourself in the foot. Okay, I just redid that a little bit because it was going to take too long otherwise. Right. The issue is, if you look at this photo, the floor is not bloody. I'm going to assume it's that. That, or I need to share the parking lot floor plans to be like, it's not on the floor, but I'm going to assume it's this one, and I'm just going to... I can't save. Great, cool. Let's just present it. Oh, okay, good. The problem lies in the footprint. The footprint? Note that the bottom of the victim's shoe is covered in blood. Then, isn't it strange? Why weren't there any bloody footprints found by the scene of the crime? Aha! As you can see, there were no traces of any such footprints at the scene of the crime. That contradicts your claim about this shoe. This picture only shows part of the floor, so there could have been bloody footprints. Then where are they, Mr. Edgeworth? Because we checked the scene and found nothing of the sort. It's because that's not the scene of the crime. Order, order, order. Well, witness? What? Huh? Great going, Mr. Wright, but it's true that the lack of a footprint is a contradiction, but then we have to ask, why there wasn't a footprint. Oh, that's true. There has to be a reason why there wasn't a footprint. Think, Mr. Wright. Think. Hey, I don't know why it's not there. I'm just good at finding contradictions. What? It's not the crime scene. That's why. I see. Now I get it. Get what? Our witness is more devious than I gave her credit for. We were hoodwinked into the very end. He's going to say the 5 minutes. We're cleaning up, maybe? But she slipped. There is one vital hint to the truth in her testimony. What are you talking about? Think back to when she told us about apprehending the suspect. The chief prosecutor tried to resist, but her efforts were in vain. She knocked my hands aside, kicked over an oil drum. Oh, she's beautiful but deadly. A predator, this one. A leopard woman. Rawr. I thought that was a strange thing for the normally cool-headed chief to do. No kidding. Now, witness, allow me to ask a very simple question. This oil drum, was it empty? Oh, that. I'm not sure. I like your attitude, I'm not sure I like your attitude, Mr. Edgeworth. Though apparently you're not the slowest conveyor belt in the lunchbox factory. Witness. Was the oil drum empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. Water? What does that mean? That it cleaned away the footprints, apparently. Still don't get it, Mr. Wright? Do you want to know the reason she knocked it over? The real reason? Aha! You don't mean? Yes. The suspect knocked over the oil drum for one reason and one reason alone. To erase the bloodstains that would become evidence against her. What? That ties things up quite nicely. The bloodstains left on the victim's shoes tie her quite clearly to this murder. Then, after the deed was done, she knocked over the oil drum to erase the telltale signs. Why, that's a prosecutor's speciality, erasing evidence. That reminds me, Miss Skye's right hand was hurt. Didn't she say she'd cut herself when she stabbed him? So that's when my sister's blood got on the shoe. Well, I see no reason to prolong this trial. Mr. Wright, do something, please. What? What can I do? Talk about the fucking muffler situation, dude. Because cars have mufflers too, not just scarves. Your sister has confessed to the crime and she tried to conceal it. But... Enough. There is no need for further debate. The verdict, Your Honour. No, because that blood test needs to be done to prove that it's specifically her, not just her blood type. Also, check out the muffler of the car. Very well. But Angel Starr is on the prosecution's side. She could have been lying about the water. This court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Skye. Objection, someone? Yeah, there we go. Little girl. What did you just say? Huh? Me? Did you say that I, Angel Starr, was on the prosecution's side? Well, yeah, you are. You're saying my sister hid evidence by erasing the bloody footprints. Well... I thought you'd had your fill, but here you are demanding a second helping. Another lunchbox. A lunchbox called evidence. Wait, witness, don't tell me you have something else. The time for deliberations is past. Any further comments, and you will be held in contempt of court. Can he do that? Your threats don't scare the cough up, Queen. Look at this. A photograph. I had it just in case anyone had the gall to suggest that the white shoe didn't belong to the victim. I see no room for error in this evidence. Mr. White, wait. Right, wait, look at the asphalt in this photo. Hey, it's clearly wet. But have you seen the muffler of the car? Erasing the last trace of doubt from the court's mind. Immediately after the murder, the crime scene was washed with water. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright. I guess I couldn't help after all. It's not your fault. I knew I couldn't win this case from the beginning. And it seems this is what your sister wanted anyway. We're going to object. No, we're going to object. I'm sorry, Mia. No, you're not, because we're going to object. Right. Wet or not, don't be so quick to throw in the towel. Huh? Get yourself up off the asphalt to take another good look. Don't give up, not until the bitter end. This is the last piece of evidence. Very well. This time I'd like to declare a verdict for good. Raise an objection. Thank you. Your Honor, wait. What is with you people? Can't I hand down my verdicts in peace anymore? Whatever it is, can it wait? No, it can't. Then it will be too late. Look at this photograph, the last one submitted. This trial isn't over until we give each piece of evidence proper consideration. So, right. Are you saying there's a problem with this latest piece of evidence? Yeah, I'll think later. Yeah, there's a problem. Right or wrong, I've got to go ahead with this. I suppose since we've come this far, we should give every claim a fair shake. Very well, Mr. Wright. Show the court the problem in this photograph. This. The problem is in this photograph is here. What's this? So there's something poking out of the car's muffler. Wait just a moment, Mr. Edgeworth. Your Honor, you just said muffler. However, I see no trace of a muffler or scarf of any kind in this photograph. A muffler is also a part on a car or motorcycle, Your Honor. Just think of it as part of the exhaust system. A pipe. I see. And I see. What's that suspicious looking cloth sticking out of the car's muffler? So what if there's something sticking out of the muffler? What does that have to do with this case? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Objection! Sorry, Miss Starr, but it's not going to be that easy. In fact, you've already told us why this is important to the case. You said as much in your testimony. What? Let's hear what Mr. Wright has on his mind. Tell us why you think this piece of cloth in the muffler is related to the case. Pull the telephone. Head-to-head muffler. Miss Starr, recall your testimony for the court. Ah yes, when I arrested her, she mentioned the muffler. That's what had me confused in my earlier testimony. Muffler. Yeah. Could it be that the muffler you heard mentioned was actually this exhaust pipe? If so, that means this piece of cloth is vital evidence. Oh. Hoag. Well, it seems we have to suspend the proceedings. Suspend? I find myself wondering about that piece of cloth. If we leave any question unanswered here, we do a disservice to the law. Have the car at the crime scene inspected at once and bring me that cloth. The verdict will wait until after we've seen all the evidence. Agreed? I suppose so. Whew, that was close. But we made it, at least for now. This court will adjourn for a 30-minute recess. It's lunchtime after all. He's still hungry? To be continued. Gonna pause it there.